So this is my experiment. I'm Tom Zuba, and clearly I'm not in Illinois. And I also am not really sure where to look. So I'm not sure where to look. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday, and it's the day after Veterans Day. So it's Thursday, November 11th. And I am in Florida for a much needed period of self-care. Today I want to talk about healing on many, 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 many different levels. Obviously, due to the pandemic, every single corner of the world is focused one way or another on healing. Well, there was just an election in the United States a week ago Tuesday. For some people, the results have been healing. For other people, it has thrust them deeper and deeper and deeper into fear. The only antidote to fear is love. To suggest that those of us that are happy about the election are being invited to love those that are not, that's a tall order. That's a tall order, but that is what is required if we are going to heal this country. We are approaching Thanksgiving. We are approaching Christmas. The story that many of us tell ourselves over and over and over again is that that will be painful, that will be intolerable, that will be miserable. That's the story that we believe and we repeat over and over again. That's exactly what we will create. So, some of you know, I'm Tom Zuba. I'm that guy with the 2 dead kids and the dead wife. I'm going to say that again. I have 2 dead kids and I have a dead wife. I have a 25-year-old living son, and I'm really, really grateful I do. I believe healing is possible. I'm going to say that again. I believe healing is possible. Gratitude can be the door that we enter to create our own healing and to move from lack into abundance. We have 2 guests today. Some of you know Anna. Anna has rooted her life in gratitude as she is co-creating a new life following the death of her beloved husband, Jilson. So Anna will be with Jessica and I at about 11:20. And then Mary Wuerdeman, who many of you also know, who is co-creating a life following the death of her beloved son, Brian. She has stepped into gratitude. And her approach is we focus on mind, body, spirit. In order to heal, we consciously heal our mind, heal our body, heal our spirit, because we're a whole entity. We work on one aspect of ourselves, we heal the whole. So 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, we're going to talk gratitude. I'm glad you're here live, or I'm glad you're here for the recording. I'm going to bring Jessica on. And I'm curious to see if the sound is okay. Hey, Jessica.
Hello, I was just sending you a text message.
How is the sound with the waves in the back of me?
Hold on, let me turn I can't hear them, but we just started, so I'm hoping that I can hear them because I think that's perfect.
But if you can hear them, then I'm thinking that the audience can hear them so that they can hear me.
Oh, I hear wind or whatever that might be, but it's not distracting. It's not overwhelming. I'll let you know if it is either of those.
Tell me about your necklace.
So I heard about this from another brave mama who I only know through social media. Her name is Maya, and her son passed from neuroblastoma. And they were one of the first families that I connected with on the internet. And her son was also treated in New York, where we were being treated at the time. And I read her beautiful story. Her son passed, and she put his ashes in a necklace that she always wore. And I thought, dear Lord, I hope I never, ever, ever have to be in that position. But I filed it away. And April 3rd came. And April 4th, I went to the crematorium and I sat next to Patrick Mahoney. And I told him, as I did before Olivia went under any surgery, I would tell the surgeon, when she's with you, when Olivia's with you, please think of her like she's your child when she's under your care. And I told him this very same thing. And with tears in his eyes and his loving, open, kind heart, he said that he would, and I believed him. And she was his first patient of that next day. He took really good care of her, and he helped me choose this option. So I have some of Olivia that I always wear.
So do you always wear that?
I do. The only time I take it off, and I don't like to, is when I'm swimming in like a chlorinated pool. Then I just don't want anything to erode. And
is it an angel, or does it give the illusion of an angel?
No, so it's a cross with wings. So it reminded me of an angel, and it was pretty. All it's stainless steel because it makes it more durable. So we want to, I didn't want to have to ever worrying about something happening to it. And I took it to a jeweler, and then they added the gold. So they added additional gold on the heart, and then kind of a skirt for the angel. So
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So if other folks listening, either live or on the recording, if they would like to either create one for themselves or give it as a beautiful holiday gift to somebody, how would they find out more?
So this was through Ohio Cremation, and they ship all over. You can find jewelry, and I know that they would ship the jewelry to you, and you could go to your local, if there is such a thing, and of course there is. It's just weird to say it, like a local crematorium or somebody that you felt comfortable having somebody handle the remains of your loved one. And some people are really comfortable. I've talked with moms who have opened up the urn. I haven't done that. I don't feel a need to. I did, however, choose an urn large enough. One of the conversations I had with Patrick, I said, I want, when I go, and I don't care what happens to this, but I want this to be with Lily, or with Olivia, I'm sorry. I'm just very aware that Lily's in the other room, so I don't want her to hear all of this because we're home today. But I said, I want an urn big enough so that we can both be in it together. And then I really don't care what happens with it.
So as you know, my dad died 2 days after his 88th birthday, and he died a year ago, April 8th. So in 2019, his best friend in all the land is a guy by the name of Jim Thulis, who was my godfather. Jim and my dad knew each other at Notre Dame. I mean, that's how far they go back. And Jim died, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer before my dad did. So I drove my mom and dad to his funeral, which was in one of the Chicago suburbs. And he was cremated, and his sons had his ashes in the urn. And they literally, brought the urn to the luncheon afterward. And then we were going to go to the cemetery. So the order was a little bit different. I had never, ever, ever, ever seen ashes because my people's bodies are buried. Rory died 15 years ago. So I asked, I said, because we grew up with these kids. They're my buddies. So I said, has anyone actually looked in the urn? No. And I said, aren't you curious? Aren't you curious to see? So we opened up the urn, and took the bag out and felt it. It was much heavier than I thought it would be. And I was glad I did. It took, well, it's easy for me to say, I do not want to be cremated. So what I'm saying is it took the mystery out of it. Oh, no. But so, yeah. Did you always know that if Olivia passed, you were going to have her cremated?
I did. So for many reasons, and it's as personal and as individual as each one of our kiddos and our family belief systems. And yeah. I, in my family, of course, the first one to have to go through something like this, but even though they weren't completely, they became quickly on board, but I wanted to have Olivia with me. And of course I know that she's always with me. These give me comfort because it's part of the physical, of course. But I thought, if she's in a cemetery, first of all, this kiddo, I couldn't go get a cup of coffee without her carrying her little IV pole down the hallway. And I never had the conversation with her, baby, what do you want me to do with your body once your soul leaves it? She was 8, right? Terrifying. But I knew if I could have that conversation with her, what she would say. And there was a big old stinking disagreement over it when we were after Olivia passed. And we had, it was messy. It was messy. So I'll get into it one day. Maybe it'll be in a book.
No, that's a good intro as we slide into gratitude. 2 weeks from today is Thanksgiving. My hunch is, I know one family you are not going to be celebrating Thanksgiving with. Who
grateful.
We could just end. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Well, the truth is,
truth teller.
But I always say yes. And many, many, many times saying yes to me is saying hell no. So who are you going to spend Thanksgiving with? Do you know yet?
I don't know. I just actually had to go back and look at the parenting plan because it's kind of all changed. So Lily will be with her dad part of Thursday, so Thanksgiving Day through, I think it's through Sunday. So we may do something on Wednesday, just the two of us. I haven't decided, but we're going to do something. We're going to start to set new family traditions. So I have made that intention clear, and it might change from year to year, but what she wants to do, that's what we're going to do.
So for a lot of people who are living with the death of someone they love, or living with the end of this dream or that dream or multiple dreams due to the state of the world that we're in, Thanksgiving, the story that they tell themselves, can be a painful time. I was talking with my son, Sean, who is really, really bummed that there's not going to be a family gathering, that he's not going to be able to see all of his cousins and his aunts and uncles, which I get. Thanksgiving, we have 2 weeks to prep for it. So we will create whatever it is we want to create. Most of us will do it from a subconscious level. I'm sitting here by the Gulf Coast feeling very, very expansive, having just experienced my first, hurricane-y, stormy twister kind of thingy, which was amazing. I'm going to create a peaceful, open, love-filled Thanksgiving. I'm going to start today consciously doing that. So I'm excited. We're going to bring Anna on board in a couple minutes, who really, really has made the conscious decision to step into gratitude as a way to heal her broken heart and create her new life following the death of Jilson. And then we're going to bring Mary on at about 11:40 Central to talk about mind, body, spirit. Consciously taking concrete steps to heal. So I wrote a book, as you well know, and the subtitle is A New Way to Do Grief. And I know that many people think it's very, very audacious to suggest, particularly those of us that have dead kids, that we can heal, that we can be happy again, that we can feel connected to life, that we can feel connected to our beloved children. I also have a dead wife, so I know that it's possible when your spouse, when your partner, I have a dead brother, I have a dead father, I got a lot of dead people. Healing for me is possible. Is healing possible for you, Jessica?
It is absolutely possible. And I feel so much more connected to Olivia now that I have said yes to life again and to the possibility, and knowing that the possibility is so real, versus being stuck in that dark place of grief.
Do you remember at what point it kind of occurred to you that, oh, maybe there is another story to be told. Maybe I actually can heal and I'm not doomed, condemned to a life of darkness?
Yes, and it was through your book, and it was through connecting with other people, primarily moms, who bravely told their story and journaled, kind of did like an online journal, and let us all be a part of that, seeing them heal on the path to healing, because I do believe it is an ongoing journey, not a final destination. But I began to see that there was another option, which felt good. This intrinsic, this knowing, I had this knowing that this was right for me. It was a call of the soul. And I knew that it was possible.
Did you journal prior to Olivia's passing?
I did. And I did it off and on. I've journaled off and on throughout my life. And on Olivia's page, that was kind of my journal. And I would send it out there, and I would think, I shared a lot. I was really vulnerable. I was really messy, but I did that. It was healing for me. And I thought, here, I was the recipient of all of this beautiful knowledge from these other moms and fathers as well, but primarily it was moms that I connected with online through social media. And I healed so much by reading their stories in the hospital bed, in different parts of the world, in different hospitals. And I thought, okay, here's my voice. Here's a little bit of our story. And I did hope that Olivia would read it one day when she was healed and on the other side of recovery, and that it would be kind of a journal for us both. But God had other plans. And
so one of the things that I write about in the first book, Permission to Mourn, I give, I think, 5 different suggestions, concrete steps that people can take to heal. Now, are any of them new? Of course not. There's very little that's new under the sun. So one of the things that Oprah suggested, among many, many, many other people, but in my life, Oprah hammered it in, hammered it home, hammered it in. And that was this idea of a gratitude journal. And that was one of the 5 suggestions. So I want to bring Anna on because I know she's a huge, huge, huge proponent, supporter, advocate of, keeping a gratitude journal. So let me see if I can. Hey, Anna.
Good morning. Good morning.
I cannot hear you that well. Can you raise your volume a little bit?
Can you hear now?
I can hear you loud and clear, my dear.
Hello, Anna.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about your self-care, if you would, my dear. What can you share with us? What can you share with us about your self-care?
This week? So I work a lot, and I was feeling really exhausted. However, I was denying my body signs that I was exhausted. And Sunday, I felt really overwhelmed and really like scared of life, scared of what to do next. And it was very, very overwhelming. And I sat with that feeling. Fortunately, I had someone to sit on the bench with me, Tom Zuba, and we talked. And I was able to calm down and just feel my feelings, feel my emotions, and take the next step in self-care and take the next step in what would be the most loving thing I could do for me next. And here I am, Monday morning. So then I went to bed at 3 a.m. in the morning. And then Monday morning by 8 or 9, I texted a friend of mine who is inherited from Gilson's friends. They kept in my life, they kept me in their lives. And it's just a blessing. And I asked her if I could come to their cabin here in the lake in Minnesota, and they said yes. And here I am with my Frank, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous outside.
Wow.
Oh, look at the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. And look at the palm trees behind
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah. So it's really gorgeous here. And, and here is the little one with me.
Oh,
So I am so very grateful for being here this week. I am so very grateful for having good friends who have a cabin in the lake in this beautiful, like paradise, heaven on earth. And yeah, so this week, what I'm doing is what I'm calling me time. I am taking my time to feel my feelings, to write on my journal, to read books that talk about meaning, and drink coffee, carry gratitude in my heart and in my hands, and take good care of me. Sleep, rest.
So let me ask you this, Anna. At what point in the journey did it occur to you that, hey, maybe I actually will be able to do some healing, as opposed to living a life of darkness and misery and no hope and no nothing following the death of your dear husband, Jilson? Do you remember? It's like, when did that occur?
Yes. So Gilson passed away on February 26, 2016. By September, I was really, really in rock bottom. I was feeling deeply sad and miserable. And that's when I found your book. And so it was September 2016. And your book really helped me. It felt like you were sitting on the couch with me on one side and Gilson on the other side, both of you holding me. December 2016, I went to Brazil to spend Christmas with my family and his family. And I came back with the knowledge that I did not want to go back to Brazil. That was not my purpose in life, but I would have to start working on healing. And that's when I kept reading your book and I looked for the retreats you had at that time. You had a February 1 in 2017. I did that, and I did a second one, the resurrection, and then I went to oh my God, all the retreats you would have online. I did all of them until I had the honor to go to Wisconsin and meet you and our tribe, many of our tribe in person. So yes, that's when I started working on my healing. The book opened the door, and in the beginning of 2017, I signed for the retreats online, and I started finding. I started like you said. I didn't start finding myself. I started rebuilding myself, building myself. Yeah.
Do you remember, how did you find the book?
Yes. So I had a horrible weekend that time in September that I really almost killed myself. And because I was seeing no purpose in life at all, just working and coming back to a silent, dark house. And I just woke up and I started Googling grief, and I stumbled upon a bunch of books, but then I stumbled upon your book and I read a small passage and I said, wow, that really like boom, hit my heart deep. And that's when I ordered it in Amazon, and I have Amazon Prime, so next day it was with me, and I read it immediately, like immediately. I read it maybe 2-3 times in one day, and that's when I felt like I was held. You know, I was held by you, and I was held by God, and I was held by Gilson. Yeah, that's how I.
You said something that I want to go back to. I don't want to jump over it. You said that you almost killed yourself. And I think it's really, really, really important that we shed the light, that we turn the light on all of it very, very often. Much more often than anyone really admits or talks about or addresses. When someone we love dies, that we love dearly, regardless of who that person is, the thought of killing ourselves enters our mind. I believe that that's normal. And for me, the many, 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 many times that I considered suicide was because I thought, there is no hope. There is no hope. I will never, ever be able to claw my way out of this deep, dark pit of despair. I am alone because everyone has fucking abandoned me. I am alone and I am in pain. And the shit about stages of grief or take an antidepressant or whatever, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It didn't sustain me. So I appreciate the fact that you, Dr. Ana Rosa, you know I lovingly love to call you that, will say that you too had thoughts about suicide.
Oh yeah, I did, and it was real, it was raw, and it was painful, and I am so grateful that I found that you brought me and to healing, because I would add that the feeling alone was really painful, because not only everybody, the majority of everybody abandoned me, but like the majority of everybody were living their lives. They had their normal lives going on, and I had zero life. My life was like, what life do I have, right? And yeah, so I am really grateful that I found the book that brought me to healing. And now, like, what really scared me, coming back to a house that was silent and dark, now it's where I find my peace. Like, I am here in this beautiful place that it's silent and quiet, and I am here in my solitude with my Frank, my dog, and I turn off the lights, and yeah, so it's really, and I have only natural light. So what once scared me became my have ended up becoming my best friend, you know.
And Anna, so many people are afraid of that quiet and the dark and sitting with your thoughts and your grief. How did you make the shift? Did it happen all at once? Did it happen in pieces? Do you remember how you made that shift?
I think it happened daily by saying little yes, and by working with Tom one on one, and also like by really getting to the point that keeping hurting myself was gonna kill me physically. You know, I kept working and working and working. I kept keeping busy, and that was killing me. Even with the healing tools, I was still going to my not comfort zone, but my to the zone that I knew better, you know. Until when in February this year, which I consider 2020, despite of all the things I have worked with, 2020 has been a huge blessing for me. And in February, when my body completely shut down, my body shut down. So I had to really lay on bed for 16 days, no pillow, flat, like uh, darkness, because I had meningitis and the light would bother me, and silent. And I sat with my feelings, and like Tom says, I was able in the silence and in the darkness and really being in contact with my heart and my soul to have glimpses of who I wanted to create, who I wanted to be, what I wanted to bring to my life. And it's what I tell people today, like I have suffered, he says that, but I tell, using his words, I have suffered enough. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you know, the greatest gift of all these horrible things, painful things, and my husband dying and going back home, but me knowing that he is with me all the time. The greatest gift is that I was broken, and I can look down on the floor and where I am and just decide I want to keep the Anna that smiles. I want to keep the Anna that talks and talks. I want to keep the Anna that is kind. Shit, I don't want this Anna that is afraid of things. I don't want this Anna that is having anxiety. I don't want the workaholic. And it's not that easy. It's not. It's hard work of daily commitment on saying yes to me, to my life, to the silence, to the, you know, darkness, and gratitude from being able to be here now with each one of you who are gifts from my Gilson's death. And, you know, with the gifts from his death, build a new me together with his soul inside of me, together with his soul inside of my body. I tell myself daily, I love this orange, whatever. Oh, you know, I'm drinking that for me and my Gilson because I know he likes this too. So I savor life with my eyes, with my ears, with my heart. I savor life for both of us now. He is with me.
So it's been over 4 years for you. Is it easier for you today to marinate in a place of gratitude, or does it still take conscious effort?
It is easier, but
My,
it's still, yeah, look at his weather.
I know. Let's just take a moment and be grateful of that view.
I know. I'm grateful for my snow, and I'm grateful.
oh,
Oh, if I was downstairs, I would show you the pines all covered with snow. They look like
Oh,
glazed pines. They are beautiful.
beautiful.
You know what? I'm not jealous of you.
don't be jealous.
I am a little bit. I'm going to be honest.
I
I
am
wish
too.
I were there.
I am too, but my place here is awesome too. Well,
It
it's
is.
heaven on earth. It's heaven on earth for me right now.
Heaven on earth. Anna, are you proud of yourself?
I am, but he was asking something. Okay, let me go back to your question. And look how strong he is too. I need to start exercising. So, cause I'm his twin, you know, so I need to follow him a little bit more.
Anna, mind, body,
Body,
spirit.
spirit.
You're working on your mind.
I know. So his question was if it's easier now or if it's still daily work. So I would say it's easier now. Lots of the pain and the hurt and the fear and the anger and the resentment and the guilt or whatever feeling you want to name, I have released, you know, like I say, I'm putting this shit up and out. So I have released a lot of it, of course, but it's a journey of saying yes. Like Sunday, I had a moment that was really painful, but I said yes to that moment. I felt all that moment. And in feeling, I kind of make again like a conscious decision. What am I going to do next? That it's going to be my next best loving decision to honor me, you know, to honor me. Before, I would have probably just called my job and said, hey, I'm not taking these days off anymore and I'm gonna go work Monday. Monday. Even that I was awake at 3 a.m. And before, I would probably lay down on my bed and cover and do nothing, you know. And no, I through hard work, I sat and felt and decided the next best loving thing is what I wanted, me time. So I'm going to create me time.
You also asked for help.
Yes, that's
You
true.
asked for help. You didn't isolate.
Yes.
You opened yourself up and you let other people sit on the bench with you. When we do that, then this seemingly unbearable becomes bearable.
Yes, like at midnight, Tom and I were talking on the phone, FaceTiming, and I am so grateful because he was just so calm there with me, listening, like he says, no unsolicited advice. He was listening to me. He was holding me. He was seeing my fear, my brokenness, my pain, and was just there with me and allowing me to shift in front of him. By being there holding me, I was able to start seeing the light. Yeah, start seeing the light in the pain.
So is healing possible? Yes, it is. We heal in a safe sacred space. In that space, we get to feel every feeling and every emotion. Nothing is good, nothing is bad, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. When I'm honest, some things are peaceful, some things are painful. I want to move in the direction of peace. In the space, everyone gets to feel loved and lovable exactly as they are. Everyone wants to be seen, heard, and honored. No frickin' unsolicited advice. It drives me insane when people give me unsolicited advice, and I don't want anyone to try to fix me. Nobody, do not try to fix me. So I'm going to bring Mary on. You both know Mary. Mary, I love this approach because it's a holistic approach. Mind, body, spirit. In a safe, sacred space for 3 weeks, Mary is going to work with a group of people who have set the intention to heal. Hey, Mary.
Hey. Hi, guys. Let me just make you bigger there.
Hello, good morning.
See you all.
It's nice.
Different backgrounds.
It's nice to see you too. So I was sharing with folks that we have this 3-week program coming up. The intention of the program is to heal, and that we heal in a safe, sacred space where everyone in your program is going to get to feel every feeling and every emotion. They are going to be seen, heard, and honored. They are going to feel loved and lovable. I have had the privilege, the honor of actually working with all 3 of you, with groups of people, and collectively and individually, we are all really, really good at creating safe, sacred spaces. And what we have all experienced firsthand, the energy of the group, the collective energy of the group is so much more powerful than any one individual person. There are many, many different approaches to healing. There's not a right way and there's not a wrong way. What's resonating with Anna and Margot right now is the concept of gratitude. I love gratitude. Yes, 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 yes. What is resonating with Mary, because of the background that you bring, is this notion of mind, body, spirit. What I love is those people that say, hell yeah, I want to co-create healing. I want to bring healing into my life between now and the first of the year. Those people that say, yes, I want to work with Mary. Anyone that says, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to heal. I don't know what, they're not paying attention. Share with folks every single day what the intention of this program is.
Well, I think it's so interesting and fascinating that I was listening to you guys a little bit ago, and my hands are literally on the book in the Choosing to Heal segment where you're talking about, the actions that we can take. And the reason why I was doing that is that in my own, I have long been doing certain things, because of my background in nutrition and wellness. I've long been eating well because I know that the serotonin in my gut, and I know that the other different hormones release when I do things for myself, like exercise. And then I was practicing gratitude. When you were talking about Oprah, one Christmas, I bought gratitude journals for everybody in the family, like back in 2012 or something like that, 2013. Couldn't get anyone to do it except me. But, so I had these tools, right? And then when Brian transitioned, I was like, how do I heal? How do I heal? Not connecting the dots. One important dot was that I didn't have intention behind all of those. things that I was doing. Wasn't exercising or moving my body or eating or practicing gratitude and recognizing beauty with the intention of healing. So I kept saying, just give me the tools, just give me the tools. And then I read the book. And honestly, it took probably 2 or 3 reads before I was like, oh, which is normal in grief, just it kept going through it and not understanding. But so I want to bring that intention forward in this program. Those are concrete, tangible action steps. I've lived it. Once I started to do it with intention, feeling into it and doing it, Tom, as you said, when you walked, you'd say, I am healing, I am healing. Eating, I am healing. Doing these things with the intention of healing, really, I think, catapulted my healing on a fast track. It really, really, really helped. I know, it's grief a new way. It's definitely grief a new way. If this, for me, I think this program resonates with someone who wants to bring their loved one forward, wants to be in a safe, sacred space, wants to be loved and lovable, wants to share, but also wants to move forward, wants to consider enjoying life again, consider what else can I do? And this is it. This is it. This is what has helped me. This is what I want to bring forward. So, long way around to answer your question, but every day I'm going to be suggesting different foods, perhaps with the intention of what they do in our body, movement, to release the endorphins, mindfulness in particular, to clear our heads of the stories that we're telling ourselves so that we can heal with intention, so that we can bust those myths or those stories that we're telling ourselves. And I have to go back to the quote that you mentioned last week with Julie Rizzo, because it helped. I have been living that quote, thinking that quote, but not articulating that quote. And so the quote is this by BKS Iyengar that said, health is a state of complete harmony of the body, mind, and spirit. When one is free from physical disability and mental distraction, the gates of the soul open. Think about that. Now, our bodies are in harmony. We are designed to heal. And yes, thank you, Tom. And if you want the scientific end of that, our bodies are in harmony. All those hormones that I just talked about, they're trying to fire all the time. So what my program does, it supports us in every facet of that. Scientifically, emotionally, spiritually.
Let me ask you this. Do you consciously do things during the day with the conscious intention of healing? Do you still work the program?
I do. I definitely do. But I will say that, but there's a certain amount of habit that has kicked in also. So it's not, like early on, maybe, there was definitely a time in my life where I didn't really want to move my body, right? It was, it was willpower, and it takes so much energy to force yourself to do things, when you create the habit of either movement or gratitude, that part of it, you can take out the struggle of the willpower and concentrate on the intention. So I absolutely do. And because I feel so good, I am conscious, I am so aware now of those hormones. And I know that when I exercise, I'm going to feel great in 20 minutes. I know that when I sleep well, I'm going to feel great. I know that when I eat good, when I eat healthfully, I know that I'm going to It's going to be uplifting. I'm not going to, I know that if I eat a whole bag of peanut M&Ms, for instance, it might feel good for a little while. I might feel great, but I'm probably going to crash, and then I'm not going to feel so good. Versus if I ate something else, and I'm going to feel good and continue to feel well. So yeah, I do with intention.
What do you think folks that say yes to the program, what do you think? I have an idea, I have an answer to the question, but what do you think they will be most surprised about?
I think they'll be most surprised about the power of the circle, the power of the community, and the power of how good they feel, just the motivation. I think the community, I think when we do these things in community, it makes it so much easier to do. I mean, because I've said this before, in that a lot of us know that we should be drinking, 8 glasses of water or half our body weight. We know that a walk would be good for us, but we don't. But I will say that when I was doing the week-long program, people were like, I got out. I was doing these things because it's so much easier somehow. Well, it's like sitting on the bench, really. We're sitting on the bench. And when we do it together in community, I think that people who do this program will be surprised, at how good they feel and the power of the circle and the healing that they have during the 3 weeks. What were you going to say?
Well, 2 things. One is what is unique about this program, and I think it will surprise many, many people, is that healing, as you learn to live with the death of a child, a spouse, a parent, a sibling, healing can actually be enjoyable. It can actually be enjoyable. Talk about a new way to do grief. That's number 1. And number 2, I'm amazed at how the work is expanding as Mary, you entered, on as you've entered, Jessica, as you've entered, because one of the things I want us to figure out is how do we very, very quickly assist people in realizing how powerful our thoughts are. Literally, I lived in Northern California during what we call the New Age period. So this notion that my thoughts create my reality, that is not new to me. What is new to me in 2020 is that's really, 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 really true. So as we were saying, as I focus on the thoughts inside of my head in community, and as I identify what beliefs am I holding that are causing me pain, and how can I shift those beliefs, that gives me a glimmer of, oh, I'm not a victim. I'm actually creating. So if I can create this, what else can I create? What else can I create? And as we've said throughout the whole hour is when we add the layer of gratitude, that catapults the healing. Your thoughts, any of you?
I agree 100%. It's like this book that I'm reading here, The Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl. It's about him being in a concentration camp. So it's a very, very deep, hard, horrendous, miserable situation. And the meaning of, and like how he goes through it, it's exactly what we are doing in our lives. It's like my mind chooses how I'm going to react to the circumstances around me. So it's a responsible choice. I have that interval between what I'm feeling and what I'm going to do next. And in that interval, I can choose gratitude. I can choose, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I can choose, what am I going to create with this? What is this trying to teach me? And that's what you're saying. The healing, the mind, the thoughts could make 2020 look like the worst time of our lives, because other people went through this in different centuries. But like, at the same point, I can look at 2020 and say, hey, hold on. I am grateful I have time to be alone. I am grateful I have time to connect with friends. I am grateful I have time to be with my family, like Mary and Steve, or Margot and Joe, working from home and, cooking together, and, having kids coming. So gratitude zooms in a miserable time. There is also something that might be a little detail that I can be grateful for, and that's this little something that I hold on to, and I make it, bright and bigger. Yeah.
I like what you said, because I know there are people that are either listening live or listening to the recording saying, well, that's nice for you guys, but my child just died, or my wife just died, or my spouse just died, or I don't know how I'm going to pay the electric bill, or my car is being repossessed, or my mother and father both got diagnosed with COVID. We are still talking to you. We're still talking to you. And as Anna said, the tiniest little shift, even if you don't believe it's true, even if you don't believe it's possible, can you say, I'm grateful I have electricity. I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful that I can hear. Start somewhere. There were many times when I thought, I am so grateful that this goddamn day is over. And I'm grateful that I have a bed, and I have a pillow, and I have a quilt, and I'm going to put it over my head, and I'm going to hope to God I don't wake up tomorrow morning. That's what I'm grateful for. I'm really, really grateful. Maybe I won't wake up. What that does is it raises our vibration. It raises our vibration. So I don't want to be insensitive to people that are going, well, that theory and that man search for meaning, groovy, 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 but I got dead people on my hand. Or I've got no food in the refrigerator. Or like I said, my car, my house is going to be repossessed and I don't have a job. What the H is there to be grateful for?
I don't know about that. Unfortunately, I can't answer for that. But I can say, like, if you have someone who is sick right now from COVID, be grateful that they are fighting with their immunity system and they are still alive. And from the people who died from COVID, what I'm seeing as in a spiritual plan, that I believe so much that we are souls and we do have our soul contracts. What I see from what I have learned before is these souls who are going back home from COVID, they chose that. They chose to go back home from COVID. And the gift they are giving for each one of us from going back home from COVID is exactly for us to pause, to, pay attention to the other person around us, to be less selfish and more caring. Like, oh, I'm using a mask not because it protects me, but because it protects the person who is beside me. So I believe that the souls who signed up for in 2020 die from COVID. The gift they are giving us is that from their deaths, I can create, you can create, each one of us can create a completely different world, a world that we're going to care more towards the other one. We're gonna be more compassionate, more kind, more gentle. The awareness, that we are connected, that we need each other, that we are not like, oh, if I am here and I am protected by this house in my heaven on earth, who cares? COVID is not allowing us to think selfishly like that.
So one of the things I say over and over and over again is life happening for us, or is life happening to us? Is COVID happening for us or to us? Is the election in the United States happening for us or to us? Is President Trump contesting and denying the election? Is that happening for us or is it happening to us? And in my experience, it's all rooted in our understanding of G-O-D. Is there a G-O-D? And if there is, what is it? So we're running out of time. Mary, when does the program begin and how do people find more information and sign up for it?
The program begins this Monday, November 16th, and you can go to tomzuba.com and look under the all products tab, and you'll find Healing Mind, Body, and Spirit there. So if you're, see if it resonates, and I'd love to have you. If we're going to do Grief a New Way. And yeah, I mean, people have asked me, well, is this a cooking show? Or, but that's a healing. It's a healing. So if you can make that connection between doing all of these things, taking concrete, tangible steps, action with intention and feeling into it, join us. We're going to do it a new way. We're actually going to find some enjoyment in community.
The program starts this Monday with a Zoom call at 7:30 p.m. Central. Go to my website, tomzuba.com. All the information is there. There's a limited number of seats. It's going to be a small group. This is how I want to close. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. If you would take a couple of seconds and think about it. What is one thing that you are really, 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 really grateful for today?
Well, now I can't stop thinking about Thanksgiving, and I guess that is, I am grateful today because of thinking of it, but my Kevin is coming home from Austin for Thanksgiving, and I'm so proud of him. And he is just so easygoing and easy to talk to, and I just can't wait to take him and squeeze him and hug him. So I'm so grateful that Kevin's coming home.
Yay, Kevin's coming home. How about you, Anna?
I am grateful for the Zoom technology that allows me to talk to my dad, talk to my friends in Brazil, talk to old friends, talk to each one of you. So I am grateful that despite we are not in the same room holding hands or hugging each other, I can still feel their love and give my love to them through my eyes, looking at each one of you. I'm grateful.
How about you, Jessica?
I'm so grateful for this community, for my tribe, my people. I'm finding my people. We're coming together. And I'm grateful that I'm bringing Lily, and of course, Olivia is like pushing all of us together, all of our loved ones. And that I get to, as I'm learning this new way of being, that I'm bringing my Lily along and she's learning along with me. That's what I'm grateful for.
I'm grateful for Olivia, and I'm grateful for Brian, and I'm grateful for Jilson, because those three powerful, powerful, powerful souls brought the three of you to me, and I don't have to do this by myself anymore.
Thank
I don't
God.
have to do this. I don't have to do this by myself anymore. The intention I set in 2006 was to transform the way we do grief worldwide. And with your help and the help of your beloveds, we are on our way. So thank you to everyone for being with us live, for watching the recording. I will be back next Thursday, 11 a.m. Central. Please subscribe to the channel so you get to notice. Okay, you know what I'm going to do today? I hope you all take really, really good care